Hey folks, Chip Richter coming to you, teaching out of a studio in Camp Hill here today, and I wanted to take a little time in between lessons to talk to you about something that I've seen that's kind of a trend in the industry over the last 10 to 20 years that involves putting, and it's this, that over the last 20 years or so, for sure, at least 10, I've noticed that the putters are getting shorter and heavier, okay? Shorter and heavier, and that seems to be selling really well, because people feel like I've got a little more mass at the bottom, the face might not twist as much. You're starting to see a lot more short and mallet-sized putters, something big like this, which is great for stamping down ball marks and killing spotted lanternflies, but not always the best thing for your putting. Now, I'm not telling you you have to get rid of your mallet putter. If you love your mallet putter, keep it, that's fine. But what I would like to see you do is implement a little something extra into your practice. Now, these modern putters that you're seeing are often coming in at 340, maybe 350 grams, especially if they have an oversized grip on them, which is a heavier grip, so to get the swing weight correct, they have to put even more weight in the head. And when we get those heavier putters, what we tend to see is a very short and jerky acceleration profile. You've got a lot of mass down there, so you can go ahead and apply a lot of force to the ball in a short period of time. It's easy to do, but when you get out there into that 25-foot zone, that short, quick acceleration profile is not necessarily the best thing for distance control. Putting is really quite simple, right? We got to read the green correctly, we got to start it on the right line, and we got to hit it at the correct speed. And if you really want to work on improving your putting and hitting on the correct speed, I've got an idea for you. Here in my hand is the Ping Answer that I used all through college. It's about 310 grams, okay? It's much lighter. It feels, my daughter picked it up a couple weeks ago and she's like, my gosh, this is light. And I'm like, yeah, well, that's what we putted with. That's what everybody putted with. But with these lighter putters, you have to have a little more swing to the stroke. The stroke has to have a little more length and a little more arc to apply enough speed, enough force to move the ball a desired distance. And when we see these shorter mallet heads, these heavier things, we start to see a lot more quick and herky-jerky, and that really gets tough from 25 feet now to control your speed. So go down to your basement and see if you don't have an older putter that's maybe 310, 315 grams, kind of like this one is. You'll know right away when you pick it up. It's going to feel light. And go out and practice with it, or just make some strokes around the house with it. It's going to lengthen your stroke out. It's going to give you a little more, just kind of flow to your stroke, which is so great and so important for controlling your distance. I'm going to tell you, if you cannot three-putt those 30-footers, that's just as important to your score as making those short ones. It's a lot easier to not lose strokes than it is to gain them. Trust me on that one. So if we can clean up the distance control a little bit by using something that's a little bit lighter, giving us a little bit more flow to our stroke, then you can go back to your heavy mallet putter. That's fine. But practice occasionally with something that's a little bit lighter. It's going to make you lengthen out your stroke, get a little more rhythm, a little more timing and tempo to it, and it's going to help your distance control. Attached to this week's video is an article from Golf Magazine. Talks about Tiger Woods' putter, 326 grams. Considerably lighter than what most people are using, and probably a lot lighter than the putter you bought recently in the pro shop, okay? If Tiger's using something that's a little bit lighter, it might not be a bad idea to try it. And again, I'm not saying you have to put it in play, it doesn't have to be your gamer, but practicing with something a little bit lighter, with a little more length, is going to widen you out a little bit and give you better distance control, and it's a great way to save some of those shots and get better distance control in your putts, okay? Hope the information helps, folks. You know where to find me, chiprpga.com. Teaching, been very busy lately. Hope to keep being busy. I'm going to stay indoors until at least April 1. If I can help, feel free to give me a call. Hope to talk to you soon. Thanks.